Amraki Hawa, Brakatha, Yahausha, Brakji Hawa, Brakatha, Yahausha, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. Lesson will be entitled A Sin That Leads to Death. IUIC Congregation. Luke 12:46. The Lord of that servant will come in a day when he look not for him, referring to the second coming of Yahushua, and at an hour or time when he is not aware. Why? Because he has spiritually dozed off, and will cut him in sunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers, hence the second death, right? Verse 47. And that servant which knew his Lord's will, such as Nate, right, and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. Verse 48. But he that knew not, referring to the congregation of IUIC, for those that are unaware of Revelation 13 and 16, although there are countless videos supporting our claim in the spirit, what the charagma truly is, okay? But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes, right? Now, if you receive Revelation 13 and 16, and if you are an Israelite, right? If you are an Israelite, these stripes, all right, is a representation of nuclear destruction, nuclear fire, if you are within the USA. Point blank period, right? But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required. And to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. All right, now Nate's supposed to be a per se shepherd, and he's leading his sheep to the slaughter. Okay, now let's go to First John 5:16. If any man see his brother sin a sin which is not unto death, he shall ask, and he shall give him life. And beginning with the apostles of Great Millstone, he shall give him life, meaning correct him, all right, via the scriptures, okay? For them that sin not unto death, there is a sin unto death. I do not say that he shall pray for it. A sin unto death, referring to what? Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls all. And all is defined as both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, keep this in mind. Now let's jump to Revelation 14 and verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, worship, meaning your participation, beginning with your belief system, because your belief is going to enable you or justify you in receiving the physical, you know what. If any man worship the beast and his image, the image, which is a representation for this system, right, and receive his charagma in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. Now, indignation means what? Righteous anger, right? And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Back into 1 John 5 and 16, there is a sin unto death, hence Revelation 13 and 16. Ezekiel 3 and 17. Son of man, I have made you a watchman, right? And another term for watchman, according to the Hebrew, is a prophet. And a prophet is a seer, all right? And how does a prophet see things before it happens? Via the Holy Spirit, right? Unto the house of Israel, so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans based on the lineage of our fathers, right? Therefore, hear the word at my mouth, right? So the prophet's mouth is the mouth of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And how do you know? When that prophet speaks the words of the Most High in truth and sincerity, right? And give them warning from me. Verse 18, when I say unto the wicked Israelites, right? Israelites, you shall surely die, and you give him not warning, nor speak to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life, the same wicked man shall die. And that's the reason why the prophets of Great Millstone, beginning with the apostles, are warning the wicked not to take Revelation 13 and 16. Why? Because according to 1 John 5 and 16, you do have a sin that is worthy of death. And what supports that? Revelation 14 and 9, right? Nor Slakia, let me start right here. Nor speak to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life. The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at your hand. Why? Going back into what? Let's go into Luke. Chapter 12 and and 48. For unto whomsoever much is given. For those of us that know, for unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required, and to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. Okay, now let's read this. You know what? Let's read this in the NLT. Luke 12:48. But someone who does not know and then does something wrong will be punished only lightly. When someone has been given much, much will be required in return. And when someone has been entrusted with much, even more will be required. Okay? So the harsh judgment will come on those that know. Why? Because they knew what and what not to do. Okay? Going back into Ezekiel 3:18. The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at your hand. Verse 19. Yet, if you warn the wicked via these videos, right, instructing them through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, do not be subjected to Revelation 13:16. And he turned not from his wickedness, and he turned not from his wickedness, right? CC IUIC congregation. Nor from his wicked way, CC IUIC congregation, right? He shall die in his iniquity, but you have delivered your soul. Why? Because beginning with the apostles of Great Millstone, we did our part. We did our part as watchmen. All right, we warned the house of Israel. Now the choice is yours. Lord, will you edify? Shalom.